It is Sunday afternoon, and welcome to a Mitch'n about the Cards short hop. Quick news and notes, some thoughts around the big leagues from the weekend leading up to the week. We are coming to you early today. We're going to kind of serve as your pregame show leading into the Padres game. Andre Palante taking the bump today. I'm Mitchell, as always, joined by the lovely Tyrell Mauck'n. Tyrell, let's get right into it when you're looking at the instant reaction from the Padres series. We said 10 runs over under. Going into the Sunday game, they've scored 9. That's a start, including an 8-run outburst yesterday. Friday night, un-Cardinal-like performance defensively. It was terrible, including a terrible, terrible play by Wilson Contreras there that would make Little League coaches cringe. What's your early reaction to the first two games?
Actually 1-1 that we are right now. I'm actually surprised we've scored this many runs. I'm really kind of happy with what the offense is putting up. Friday night, I was upset as you were, but I also kind of chalked that up to the human element a little bit. They just had a huge shakeup in the clubhouse. They traded some guys out, and they actually finally said, "Hey, we're not going to compete this year. It's going to be next year. We're going to compete, or the year after that." So the guys had to come to some terms with that a little bit, and I think the human element really showed out with that. I also the game last night. I'm actually kind of goes back to our catching that I've actually been really impressed with all season long. Paul Hayes may not be the best offensive catcher that we've ever seen, but man, is he running the pitching staff pretty well, minus Fetty and Miles Michaelis. Pozo has been some timely hitting, and I know starting the season out, we all had sugar plums of Yvonne Herrera being our next catcher for the next 10 years for us, but is really blossoming as a DH that we need to cannot get rid of. So I've been really optimistic and kind of surprised at the fight that the guys had last night, going down 4 runs like they did, and then coming back and winning that game. I was really it was almost like the fight came back into them, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to show you, front office, that this team is going to compete no matter what."
And a really good adjustment there by Michael McGreevy last night. Down 4 runs early, like, oh, well, here we go again. I'll find something else to do tonight. And kind of just made adjustments. It wasn't a dominant start by any stretch of the imagination, but pitched long enough to keep your club in it to get the win. To your point about the human element, reports yesterday on X, Twitter, Ollie had the Kumbaya pep rally with the team before the game on Saturday, telling the guys, hey, this is our future. You guys are the long-term solution here that we're going to look to, and just play ball. And seem to respond a little bit, but really, with professional guys, how much does that message actually ever work? As far as the rallying cries, the motivational speeches, etc. As somebody who's done 100 of those for high school kids, it works for a while. You got about 2 or 3 guys like, oh, this was awesome. But for the most part, it goes one ear out the other. Let's just play the game. What do you think, Tyrell, regarding the professional level? Do those rah-rah speeches work?
If you listen to any coach talk, they're always going to say the same thing over and over, even from high school or hell, little league, all the way to professional. They say the exact same thing. They just say it a little different. I think the rah-rah speeches do work on a couple of guys all the time. I think that John Gruden video, that one, when he was talking to the Cardinals, that would have made me run through a brick wall. That was a rah-rah speech that I want to get behind. But I agree with you. Your whole team's not going to be, because every guy's different. Every guy wants to know what motivates and has different motivations and everything. So they work on some guys, but not every guy. I'm one of those guys it's going to work on all the time, and I'm like, I'm going to give the coach the best I got all the time. Love it. So that's the way I see it. Is the same as you.
Let's go to another hot topic here. Have we seen the end of Nolan Arenado wearing the birds on bat? A day after failing to trade him, the shoulder injury pops up, 10-day IL. Has he swung his last bat for the Cardinals, Ty?
No, I don't think you're going to find any team that is going to pay him what he's worth or how much he's owed. Let's put it the better way.
Because
How
what
much
he's
he's
worth and
owed
what he's
for the
owed are
next
two
year.
different things at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's too many different. No team is going to pay what he's owed just for his defense, because you can see that he is struggling offensively and has been since his downturn in 2023, has been struggling mightily. I don't think any team is going to play for defense or pay for defense.
He's
That
owed
being
45 million the next 2 years.
I don't see the Cardinals eating money. They're not that organization, so they're going to keep him there until and unless JJ is going to play your third base.
I
But
don't
I don't
see
know if that's going to
Arenado
happen.
just sitting on the bench though here either.
Yeah, I don't either. So I think if the Cardinals eat any money, maybe he finds a trade partner. But also, these shoulder injuries are hard to fix. We saw that firsthand with the Scott Rowland shoulder injury. He was never the same player after that injury on his shoulder. What do you think?
I mean, when you're looking at it just from a mechanic standpoint, as a major league player, your shoulders are huge. I mean, it's everything you do is with your shoulders, even if it's a non. And I don't remember if it was his right shoulder or left shoulder that the injury was occurring to. But still, I mean, either way, when you're trying to swing, and the rolling point is great because when Roland got hurt, he went from a 35, 40 home run MVP type player to average at best. I think
Yes.
that maybe he gets the Matt Holliday treatment. That he gets activated that last weekend series against the Cubs to get the 15,000 people who are going to be at Busch at that time clapping and cheering for him one last at bat. But I think he's done here. Sadly, this was supposed to be the next great era of Cardinal baseball. Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, and it has been a disappointment through and through.
The scary thing about that is if he's off this team, that ends your or could end. I don't see anybody on this roster yet being a Hall of Famer. That's going to end your Hall of Fame. You've had a Hall of Famer at the very beginning of this franchise all the way through that have played with consecutive generations. So if Nolan Arenado leaves this team, there is nobody on this team that is going to be Hall of Famer. So you're going to end that streak that has been so impressive to have for an organization like this.
Which is actually, yeah, absolutely insane. I believe since the 1920s, the Gas House Gang, and then you roll through Musial, Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, Ozzy. Then LaRusso was in the dugout. He's a Hall of Famer. Goldschmidt's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. That's going to count for a year. Yachty and Albert are surefire first ballot Hall of Fame guys. So it's absolutely insane to think for over 100 years, someone in the dugout has been a Hall of Famer, and that streak is probably going to come to an end next year. Unless, and I thought about this yesterday afternoon while I was kind of flipping through the channels, Max Scherzer comes home next year on a 1-year deal to pitch for the home crowd one last time. It seems like such a St. Louis move. 10 years after his peak, when they could have had him. He wanted to pitch in St. Louis. He even sent Wainwright a text, according to the reports, hey, if the money's close, I want to come home. And Mo, in his infinite wisdom, didn't think Max Scherzer was worth $25 million. He goes and win 2 Cy Youngs during that period.
I would have loved to seen him with the birds on the bat. I just one time, and I hope he still got some in the tank where we can bring him back. But what's he going to command? Is he going to command the qualifying money, which is what, $22 million at this point?
Roughly. I think at this stage in his career, I don't see him demanding, 2 over 40 or anything like that. And, it'll pack some seats early. You get to watch Max Scherzer pitch at home, that connection. Mizzou guy from St. Louis. Really go watch Max throw once.
I'd have to. I'd have to go watch that once, especially
Probably
at Busch.
Another 16, 17 starts, but once. Well, we kind of got slightly off topic there with Roland's injury. Let's talk about the future of that third base position. Look at the Memphis lineup today. J.J. Weatherholt is playing third base. I believe he was 3 for 3 at the start of this podcast. So they're thinking ahead, which is shocking for this organization to have a little forethought. He played a little of the outfield. He's playing third base today. Ty, who do you think the future is? Looking at that crystal ball of yours, next April this time, who's getting the start on third base?
Nolan Gorman. Gorman's going to be your third baseman. You're going to have J.J. Weatherholt be your second baseman, and Mason Wynn going to be your shortstop. I think they want to see what they have in Gorman. They have not done it this year, but I think it's going to be Nolan Gorman, mainly because that's his natural position, and they want that left-handed power bat in the lineup, which that dude's got 40 home run potential all the time. Just can he get that mind game and it all figured out?
No matter who it is, it's going to be a downgrade defensively. Arenado, arguably the best defensive third baseman of a generation. What do you think about Thomas Ajacey? I mean, he's going to get a little runway as well.
really like Thomas Sajasi. He's hitting every level. He's the Randy Rosarina. That dude hit at every single level, and so is Sajasi so far. I would love to see him get run over there. That's again, we go into this problem with the glutton of outfielder or infielders and outfielders this organization has right now. So you've got these guys that are hitting, might not be as great as defense, but you're not giving them the runway that you said you were going to give them. I honestly, in my brain, almost see the Cardinals moving Mason Wynn this offseason. JJ, your shortstop. Sagasi, your second baseman. Gorman's going to be your third baseman.
And we talk about runway and guys getting opportunities. They activate Newbar, and guess who goes to the bench? Jordan Walker, the guy who's actually hitting. Trying to pull up the box score today, see the lineup. Walker isn't right, Newt is off, and Sajasi is actually playing second today, and with Gorman at third, and Wynn leading off. So that's kind of an interesting. And Javon Herrera out in left field, who hasn't looked terrible. I mean, all you're asking your left fielder to do is kind of make your routine plays, and so he hasn't been bad out there. But that would solve something. But then you're still, what do you do with Newt Bar long term?
I think he's gone in the winter. I think what the trade deadline really did show us is that the Cardinals are not planning on competing for several more years. And I think a lot of what's going to happen is going to happen in the wintertime this year. And we're going to this roster is going to be completely revamped by the time we go to spring training.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see if it's moves like in the winter of 2000 or winter of 99, where they go get a Darryl Kyle, they go get a Dave Veras to close, just to kind of revamp the pitching staff to like say we're going to compete, or if it's anything other than the Archer Fredbird like we talk about, if they're going to move on from it and start at zero. Be really interested to see what the Heim Bloom era is going to look like around the winter meetings. This one's kind of a fun one. As we go to our kind of final topic of the day, the Speedway game, massive rainouts last night. It just finished up with the Braves winning. 85,000 people reported tickets sold. It looked really cool as far as the atmosphere, that stuff goes. But there are reports. Fans are all over X. ESPN 101 in St. Louis reported this. The Cardinals are raising season tickets by almost 15 to 20%, depending on the section. And they're demanding that those renewals be in by September 30th, which normally they're in by January. And currently, we're looking at the attendance through MLB. St. Louis is tracking to finish in the bottom 10 of attendance. Tyrell, the Cardinals have a huge problem right now regarding attendance. And now, when in doubt, let's just jack the prices up to try to make up for it. You got a potential lockout coming in the 27th season. What do you think is going on One Cardinal Way?
I think they've lost their mind, to be honest with you. Also, this is what the kind of the brewery did when they were getting ready to sell. They started jacking prices up, trying to make the team more valuable so they get more money out of it. I think this could be a potential sell out of the DeWitts, but we also know that they're not going to trade or sell very much because they built Ballpark Village for a reason, and that's the moneymaker right there, which is still making money hand over fist. I think I don't like what I see. I don't think it's the right way to go. I think you should go cheaper and say, hey, we know we're in a rebuilding mode. Cardinal fans, Cardinal Nation, give us some time. We're going to lower prices. We're going to come back bigger and better. It just goes to show once again that this organization is tone deaf to what it's saying to its fans and what it's actually putting on the field.
We talk about it all the time. Baseball's not profitable. They sold the parking garages for $90 million. The two that are on the first base and third base sign near Busch 3. $90 million. Ballpark Village is worth probably another $500 million just in land alone. The old joke is now, sadly, the Cardinals are the house band at Ballpark Village. I mean, they want you to come park in their lots, spend your money at Ballpark Village, and then maybe go watch a game if there's nothing else to do. And people are not showing up. I'm telling you, those series in September when school's back in are going to draw less than probably 15,000 people on a Tuesday night.
I think the next big one you'll see is probably Labor Day. Will be the next big crowd you see, but I don't think. I mean, it is the A's.
It's not like it's
Let's go watch Brent Rooker.
No one's paying to watch Brent Rooker.
Nobody's yet. I agree with you. I don't see, which is sad because I mean we've been up there with the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the 3 millions for so many years now, and for us not to be there anymore, it's just sad and depressing as an organization, really.
What is your opinion on, you look at the Speedway game, the Hall of Fame games, Little League World Series type games, or even the Field of Dreams game? What do you think about those novelty kind of acts? The NFL goes
I actually
international.
love them. I
College
think the
basketball is
more
playing
people you get in the
on
stands, the better. The more
aircraft
kids you get
carriers.
into this park,
Kind of
the
your
better.
thoughts on
And
those
especially for
novelty
baseball, I
acts
think you
from
got to grab them
professional
young
sports.
because there's nothing better than the smell of the leather and that grass cut when you walk into a baseball stadium. It's the best. I loved the Rickwood series that they did last year. I think that was amazing with those old school throwback uniforms. Love that stuff. So I think the novelties is about the only way you're going to get in the fan experience is how you're going to get fans to keep coming to the ballpark. So I think these little knick-knack things that they do are a great way to keep the people interested, and it's all about getting viewership and everything. So I think it's a good thing for baseball.
Right. I've got a friend. She's from Georgia, lives in St. Louis now, and she watched every single 2 hours of that rain delay last night just because she's a huge Braves fan, and then immediately turned it on today. So you're getting eyes that way. I don't necessarily love novelties of the Speedway game, but give me the Little League Classic where they're playing in Williamsport, or even Field of Dreams every year. That's always cool. Something that ties baseball to baseball. You could even do a game at the Negro League Museum in Kansas City, or what would be cool, throw it in a back lot somewhere and call it the Sandlot Series. Something that ties baseball together, from our youths, things like that. I don't like novelty of, somebody said on Twitter, put it on an aircraft carrier. Well, that's a problem. But, you put it in Mount Rushmore in the background, and those visuals are great, but get the game back to its core because it's still a great game at the end of the day. It's still the only game where the defense has the ball. And everybody's first love, and I'm a football guy, but my first love is definitely baseball, and it needs to kind of get back to that, of reminding
There's
everybody
nothing better
why
than the crack
baseball's
of a
cool,
bat.
just for what you said, the smells, the sounds, things like that. There's not. There's not a better sound in sports. As we kind of finish up tonight, the game's getting ready to start. You and I both have other obligations this evening, so we'll
Cody
talk Tuesday
Rhodes,
on
he's
how
coming
this
back.
series
He's going to
ended.
win it, and
It's
then
SummerSlam,
we're
the
going to plan
hottest
on to
event
the
of the
next pay per
summer.
views. You
Who do you
can't keep
got
this
tonight?
Cena
Cody
thing
Rhodes or
going for
John
so
Cena?
long. It's going to be Cody Rhodes tonight.
Ooh. Now give me Cena. Run him out. I know he
Yeah,
turned semi-face Friday night because they've botched this completely. It seems like they're just ruining everything that we love. But especially when you look at night one with the Seth Rollins thing, that was kind of a cool finish. I don't know what they've got for night two. I'm excited to watch. Kind of a novice wrestling fan at this point, but it's on. I think we're gonna do some ice cream and kind of do it
yeah.
upright. My daughter likes watching some of this stuff, so we're gonna
I'm
do it
excited.
together.
We're
But
gonna.
I'll
Yeah,
be kind of interested to
I'm
see. But go
excited
ahead and
for it.
give me
I'm excited
John
for it, man.
Cena in
Okay, no, I'm
the
excited for it. Me and a buddy
championship
and I are
here.
coming over. We're gonna
We'll be
go.
back Tuesday.
We're gonna go watch it in theater here in a
Go ahead.
minute.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
am
You
just
got something
ecstatic
cool
to go
going
and
on
we'll do that. I
tonight.
think it's gonna be a great final night of SmackDown.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm pretty excited for it. We'll be back Tuesday night. We'll talk about the first night of the Dodgers series. We'll wrap this one up. For Tyrell, I'm Mitchell. This has been a Mitch'n Short Hop. We will see you Tuesday night. Ooh, right out almost 20 minutes, dude.